talk to you about the 5 mistakes that I see mums make when they're trying to lose the mummy tummy, and what to do instead so that you can lose it for good. So quite often, this is a massive problem that mums have. They're really subconscious about what's happened to their tummy and the way it looks, and I see all kinds of crazy ways that people try to get it back, and it actually makes it worse and often prevents them from being able to ever get their tummy back. And then, it's really sad because they battle with that lack of confidence in their stomach, and also, for me, I'm thinking more about not so much the aesthetics of it, but also the function of their body. If we can get that mummy tummy gone, then their body functions a whole lot better. So the first mistake that we see mums making is that they think that doing sit-ups or crunches or wearing a belly belt are the answer. They're not, okay? So sit-ups, crunches, actually the worst thing that we can do for our core, and also wearing the belly belt, whilst that's, okay at the start, just after you've had a baby, what we really need to be doing is training our core to work at a deep level so that that internal support belt is created within your own body and it supports itself rather than relying on a belt, okay? But also avoiding sit-ups and crunches because they're actually the worst thing that we can do for our tummy, for that mummy tummy. You'll end up still having that domed, pregnant looking belly years on. Okay, next thing we see people trying to do is take on all kinds of crazy diets to help lose the mummy tummy. So, we see people there on the potato diet, the keto diet, the no carbs after 6 p.m. diet, the I'm only going to eat soup diet, and they're on and off these diets. But what happens is that these diets actually have a drastic effect on metabolism. Also, they encourage the body to store fat around the abdomen, okay? So we really want to avoid those crazy diets and eat in a way that gives us optimal energy and fuels us for life, okay? Next thing we see people doing is trying to exercise like they did before they were pregnant, and that their core is just not capable of it. So what happens then is that there's actually a lot of pressure on the core, and it actually results in that core or that tummy, that mummy tummy, staying protruded and looking rounded and distended rather than looking toned and that waistline drawing back in. So exercising like you did before you were pregnant, it's not a it's not a one size fits all cookie cutter approach where you can just rock up to a normal exercise class and just exercise like you used to. It just doesn't cut it. You actually need to exercise in a way where your core can work effectively for you, and exercise in a way that is going to help promote your core to be working, which is going to then help you to lose that mummy tummy long term and keep it off for life. Yippee, yippee. Next thing we see is people taking advice in online forums. The amount of times I'm in a forum and I see someone post, what should I do for my mummy, to lose my belly? And I see the replies and I almost want to scream. It's actually really dangerous to listen to what some people are saying in those forums, okay? A, they don't know what's going on in your body. B, they're not an expert, okay? And C, they might try something. They might, I've just tried these crazy pills, or I just did this, and but we actually don't know what is actually going on in their body. So you might even see, there's a lot of good marketing out there where people say, I did this compared to this, but a photo does not speak what is actually going on internally. It also doesn't show what that body looks like 6 months later when they go back to doing normal things. So please don't take advice in an online forum. It's the worst thing we can do. Get advice from a professional, okay? The last thing that we see is not taking into account abdominal separation, pelvic floor dysfunction, or the effects of those on the mummy tummy. Also not taking into account the effect of sleep and stress on the mummy tummy. So sleep deprivation, stress, we're going to have elevated cortisol hormone, which encourages us to store fat on our midsection, so it's going to make it really hard to lose the mummy tummy. So that mistake is really ignoring the effect of abdominal separation, pelvic floor dysfunction, lack of sleep and stress on the mummy tummy. Finally, the biggest thing we really want is for everybody to pick or select a coach to work with that specializes in postnatal training, okay? You might have only had your baby 6 weeks ago. You might have had your baby 10 years ago. Your body is postnatal for the rest of your life. And if you don't try and take into account the things that happened to your body while you're pregnant and start to really rectify them, then you've actually got no hope of losing that mummy tummy and your body functioning well. So pick a coach that specializes in postnatal exercise, in women's exercise, and they're familiar with the core, with the pelvic floor, with abdominal separation, and also the effect of hormones as well. So you want to have somebody that's an expert in this space. There's so much online information out there. There's so many, crazy workouts, so many crazy diets. Do yourself a favor, grab an expert that knows what they're doing. Happen to be an expert, and I do have a 6-week program that helps mums to rebuild their tummy, to lose the tummy, get their core back. But anyway, this is not a sales pitch. I wanted to put out there the mistakes I'm seeing because I see it in forums and I get on and I reply. But I figure if I can do a bit of a live for you, post out this video, then that's going to help you to avoid some of the mistakes that we see people making. If this resonated with you, if you feel like, oh yeah, I do need a hand with that, then please just comment below, flick me a PM, and yeah, I can help. But really, if you can just share this around with your friends, with anyone that's a mum, just so that we can help to stop the mistakes that are happening and the damage that's happening to women's bodies. Take care, everybody, and have a great day.